My favorite travel backpack just got bigger and better. Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm John, and welcome to UnPack'D, a place where we unpack all the details about your favorite bags, etc., and travel-related gear. And today I have my favorite travel backpack that's been upgraded for 2024. It is the ULA Dragonfly 36 liter. So if you guys have been watching my channel for over the last month, I launched my channel with the very first video being the Dragonfly, and I'm happy to bring you the new and updated, larger, bigger brother of that Dragonfly. Today I'm going to do a full walkthrough of the video. If you're familiar with the bag, you can just skip to the next section where I will tell you exactly what's different about this bag compared to the older model in case you're thinking about upgrading. But let's go ahead and start off with the overall dimensions. So this new bag here is 20.5 inches tall, 12.5 inches across, and 7.5 inches deep. So that is a big change. That's what makes the bag bigger. It's about 2 inches taller, 1 inch wider across on the front, and 1/2 inch deeper. So I have this bag slightly packed out just so we can test it on my brand new personal item sizer. I'm happy to introduce that. So let's get that set up. So this box is 18.5 inches across, 14 inches high with a depth of 8 inches. So this is the most popular size of personal item box used by most airlines, not all airlines. So even though I test these bags here on the channel, always check your airline because the dimensions could be different. So I have this bag medium packed out. Let's see if it'll pass as a personal item. Not even close. So this bag is going to be best as a carry-on. It will be carry-on compliant, but it will not pass most airlines' personal sizer. Now the listed weight for the bag is 2.1 pounds according to ULA. When I weighed it, it actually came in a little bit lower at 1.8 pounds. So the bag I have in front of you is the Ultra version. The 36 liter is available in EcoPack, X-Pack, and Ultra. Depending on which material you choose, this bag is going to range from $299 all the way up to $229 for the Ultra version. Ultra is going to be your most abrasion resistant and waterproof. Now the material itself is waterproof, but the bag is not waterproof because it is not seam sealed, but it is going to be extremely water resistant. Adding to that water resistance, this bag does include AquaGuard zippers here in a matte finish. You have a number 8 AquaGuard zipper for the main opening, and they're using 5s everywhere else. You have 2 external pockets, one up front and a top quick access pocket up front. On the up front pocket, it's going to run all the way down to the bottom, and it is made of ultra stretch material. That is another material made by Challenge Cellcloth. It's not just your regular stretchy material. This thing is going to be more abrasion resistant and more water resistant than a regular stretchy mesh that some backpack users might use. So this is also, you know, special material that's going to add to that price point. As you can see, there's some little pleats here, so that's to give the bag a little bit of volume. Even when this bag is packed out, I still found this pocket to be pretty tight, so it's going to be best left to your flatter items. On the outside of this front pocket, you're going to have this removable stretch cord. I know some people don't like the look, but you can easily remove it. Not a big deal. You're going to have a 2x3 Velcro loop patch here, and ULA is including for the first time their own patch for this particular bag. Now you can remove the patch if it's not for you and add something that you might like on your own, like a custom UnPack'D patch. Look at that. I want to give a huge shout out to Max at Maxpax. He makes patches. If you're looking at getting some patches made or you want to check out what he has in inventory, I highly recommend you check him out. I'm going to put his Instagram in the description below. Give him a follow. If there's anything you see on his page that you like, shoot him a DM. I know he's got a web store coming soon, but yeah, check out Max at Maxpax. Support small business. And thank you again, Max, for making this patch for me. I freaking love it. So continuing on the exterior, you do have that 2x3 loop where you can add your own custom patch. You got one pocket up here that we talked about, and then you have the quick access pocket at the top. Now, ULA did not fix this little carabiner, but we'll get into that later when we do our comparisons. Along the sides here, you have the best feature of the bag that I like is the water bottle pockets. Again, it's using the Challenge Sailcross Ultra Stretch. It's going to be a nice stretchy material, but as you can tell by the pockets how wide they are and how deep they are, anything you put down in this pocket is going to be really, really secure. On the side, you have compression straps. You have one on each side. So if you're not carrying that much stuff, you can compress the bag down to make it seem a little bit smaller. They are using 550 paracord for the zipper puller, so everything's really silent. You're not gonna have that jangly mess that some bags have. And let's move on to the back. On the back side of the bag, you have ULA's S signature straps. These are super comfortable. I know I talked about it a lot in my last video, but this S curve shape that they have, not a lot of backpacks have them, some do, but I find these to be extremely, extremely comfortable. Now, you do have minimal padding on the straps, but because of the shape and how wide they are, it feels really good on the body. I found that it takes a couple of weeks to break the straps in. Even though they're really thin, it does take a little bit of a break-in period, but once the straps are nice and worn in, this pack is extremely comfortable. Now, ULA says on their website that this backpack is only rated for 25 pounds. I've pushed that limit, and I can tell you that it's extremely comfortable. On the underside of the straps, you have air mesh ventilated padding here that matches the back panel. And on the back panel, you just have this U-shaped mesh here. Now, like I talked about in my first video with the 30 liter, it is not the most breathable back panel, but it's also not the worst I've ever dealt with. Again, it's just using some really minimal padding, air mesh here, but it's keeping the overall weight down of the bag. Along the shoulder straps, you have 3/4 inch webbing, and they do have an adjustable sternum strap. So this particular bag has a fidlock one. For an additional $19.99, you can upgrade your strap, which I highly recommend, to the fidlock. Makes it super easy to use. On the top here, you have a padded loop handle, a haul handle where you can grab the bag. It's really comfortable. I can tell on this particular model that they made the handle a little bit wider, and with the padding, makes it real easy to grab. So along the top, you have a vertical loading laptop compartment. Now this goes all the way down to the bottom, and it is suspended about 1 inch. I would still be careful about dropping your bag because it's really close to the bottom. It's probably closer to 1/2 inch. I'm just taking a guess here, but I would still be cautious about slamming your bag down, even though it is a suspended pocket. Now ULA did a top loading laptop pocket because it doubles as a hydration bladder pocket. Now there is no dedicated internal pass-through for hydration port, but you'll just have to zip the bag close and then run your hose out this way. But that way you can load your hydration bladder there. So this is a pretty minimalist bag. We're gonna go ahead and move over to the overhead camera and take a look at how it's laid out on the inside. This bag opens up full clamshell, as you can see, and it's the signature big bucket. You're still gonna have your internal compression straps at the bottom. This piece of material here, that's your quick access pocket up top. That's how it fills up. There's gonna be nothing else to the bottom of this bucket. On this tail here, you're gonna have 2 split mesh pockets. Now this mesh does feel a little bit different, but I can't tell yet for sure, but it does feel more beefier than some of the meshes that I felt on the older Dragonflies. And there's no more further internal organization in this bag. It's just you got 2 zipper pockets, that's it. And this one's pretty big and this one's a little smaller. And I like that actually because that leaves room to add your own pouches and stuff and keep them from bouncing around. So I like that there's no additional organization in these 2 front pockets here. So here is the side-by-side of the 30 liter and the 36 liter. As you can tell, the bigger brother is a little bit taller. And like I said, you gained about 1/2 inch in depth. So this 20.5 inch bag, it's gonna be suited for your taller people. Imagine if you're a little smaller frame or a little shorter, this might look gigantic on you. So you'll wanna keep that in mind. But just to give you an overall here, this is how it would look. Now, I'll put up some video of the side-by-side. This is how the bags look on me packed out of each, the 30 liter and the 36 liter. We'll do a full 360 so you can get an idea. And for reference, I am 5'10". Before we move into our loadout portion of the video, I just wanted to talk through some of the features that are new in case you already own an older Dragonfly and wondering what's different on the new one. So right off the bat, you're gonna tell is that 2x3 loop field. Now you still can order the bag without it, but the new bags come at no additional cost. they will add an included loop fill for your patches, something that I was super excited to see. And the other biggest change on the newer Dragonflies 30 and 36 liter is this haul handle. It's now padded and wider, and it feels like an actual haul handle that you would want on your bag. And the third feature, besides the bag growing 6 additional liters, is going to be on the inside of this flap. So on the inside of this flap, on the older Dragonflies, it used to be just nylon, but now they're using ultra material on the back side of this. So it's going to provide even more water resistance. So there had been some small cases where people were saying if it rained hard enough, water would go through the mesh and seep through the nylon and get to the inside of the bag. So it was maybe just an oversight, but now that you have ultra stretch on the front and ultra on the back, that's gonna make this even more water resistant than ever before. Since this is the bigger bag, I want to load it up. Now, if you're new to my channel, my loadouts are realistic. I packed this bag with exactly what I would take with me on my trip, so they can get a little long-winded and in the weeds, but I have chapters. Feel free to skip to the end if you don't want to see the loadout. But I like doing the loadouts this way because it shows people what you can actually fit in there. I'm not just throwing random items in there to test the volume. Actual stuff that I use, that way it can be a gauge for yourself to figure out if this bag is going to work for you. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's load this bag out and see what it can hold. So for today's loadout, I went ahead and got me a set of Peak Designs packing cubes, because I know just to add a little diversity to my loadouts, and I know that Peak Design are some of the more popular packing cubes, and for good reason. And shout out to Max Delgado, a viewer of mine, who recommended the Peak Design shoe pouch. So I was able to score the set of 3 at an amazing price. But I have the Peak Design shoe pouch. Thanks for the recommendation, and I hope you're watching this so you can see. I have a pair of size 12 men's trainers in here. So let's go ahead and start with this and load the bag out. So those trainers, I'm gonna pop right in here at the top. We'll get the medium Peak Design packing cube. We'll pop that right in at the bottom. And then I have the small Peak Design meeting cube that we're just gonna wedge right in there. So what I have inside these packing cubes is about 7 days of socks and underwears in the small, and I have about 8 days worth of clothes in the medium packing cube. Now, even though I'm packing for a 2-week trip, theoretically, I do laundry when I travel, so that's why I'm only packing about 7 days worth of clothes, 8 days worth of clothes, and 7 pairs of socks and underwears. Then I got my trainers in case I want to do some exercising. So that's pretty much it right there in a nutshell. This is the Gravel Explorer Plus. This is a big boy toiletry kit. I'm traveling for 2 weeks, so I'm bringing the big guns out. I'm gonna put that right here next to the Peak Design, on top of the Peak Design packing cube. I also have my TomTalk T12 Lite that I've been testing for a month, review coming soon. This has all my tech, cables, chargers, SIM cards, spare battery. It's a pretty good alternative to a Cap 2, but we're gonna load that right next to that. So now, as you can see, I still have a little bit of room up top here. I can lay a light jacket down, or you might want to bring a packable day pack to load here into the pack, because you have no other, this is a big bag to be carrying around once you get to your destination. But let's go ahead and load up these top pockets. I usually don't carry a lot, but let's do that now. I normally don't put too much in there, but I do want to put my first aid kit that goes with me everywhere. I'm going to drop my Mighty pouch right in the top pocket. As you can see, I still have room to put some other stuff. Like I said, you can do a light jacket, a packable day pack. That's all I'm gonna carry for my particular trip, but your results may vary. So let's go ahead and zip this up and finish out the loadout. So this bag is pretty loaded, nice and solid. I still have the top pocket to load out. And like I told you earlier, that when this pack is loaded, your room up front gets kind of tight. So I like to stick smaller items in there, flat items. So for now, I usually put my snacks in there. So I got a Cliff Bar, protein bar, liquid IV. That's gonna be my snack pouch. And if you don't have a snack pouch in your bag, you might wanna look into getting one, especially if you have a wife. You don't want a hangry wife. Good to have a couple of snacks on you to prevent the hangriness from taking over. Now let's move over to overhead camera and show you the top pocket. So this top pocket, I'm gonna keep all the normal things in there. Like I said, this is a realistic loadout. I'm gonna have my sunglasses, passport, hero clip, because if you're traveling, you need to have a hero clip. If you don't have a hero clip, you're not really traveling. And one thing that ULA didn't change was this itty bitty tiny little key leash, the world's smallest key leash. So this is in purple color here, but I'm gonna go ahead and attach my keys to it. And that's gonna round out my loadout of the top. Top pocket is loaded out. Let's do the laptop. Flip that around. And according to ULA, you can fit up to a 17-inch laptop into this. And again, it's a suspended laptop sleeve. I don't have a 17-inch laptop. I have a 13-inch MacBook Pro, but that fits in there, no problem. And like I said, it is a suspended pocket, but since the bag is fully loaded, the laptop kind of hovers right in here, so it doesn't even make it all the way down to the bottom. I imagine as you walk, it'll probably, wiggle its way down, but I like that it's kind of just floating because of the contents of the pack. The last thing is a water bottle. Again, ULA says that these big ass pockets can fit up to a 64-ounce bottle. I don't have a 64-ounce bottle, but what I do have is my 32-ounce mirror. And even though this pack is packed out, the mirror bottle completely disappears. And you still have the other side, umbrella, raincoat, anything else you want to put in there. And you can also put like a tripod or some trekking poles, load them through the top, and let the compression straps hold a larger item in there, like trekking poles. If you made it this far into the video, I want to say thank you. And if you want to see more videos just like this, I would highly encourage you to like the video and subscribe. If you can't already tell, I'm a brand new creator, and I'm also documenting my journey over on Instagram and TikTok. So please go ahead and give me a follow, and I'll give you some behind the scenes and some more bag content behind the scenes about me becoming a creator. I have no editing skills, no filming skills, no presenting skills. I'm learning everything on the fly, and I'm trying to get better as I go. So please check out my Instagram. I got some new short form content coming that I think is going to be very popular amongst travelers. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, please give me a follow on YouTube and Instagram. Final thoughts on the 36-liter ULA Dragonfly. Well, it's no secret, I love the bag. That's why I chose to make the 30-liter version my very first video ever on YouTube. This bag is amazing with a combination of name brand hardware like YKK zippers, Duraflex buckles, Challenge Sailcloth Ultra and Ultra Stretch. I mean, it's just amazing. And one thing that I forgot to mention in the features was that this bag does have loops down at the bottom where you can attach a padded hip belt. You can buy one from ULA, or if you have one existing that can connect to 1-inch loops, it's already down at the bottom. So that's another feature that you can add and help carry the weight off of this bag. I think with all of the premium features, the upgrades for 2024, like the handle and the loop field, $329, this one clocks in at. They start at $299 for the EcoPack version. I think it's well worth the price. You're using all premium hardware. It's made in the USA, right here in Utah, and it comes with a lifetime warranty to the original purchaser, but it comes with a lifetime warranty. To me, this is the best bang for your buck for a travel bag. This 36-liter is the perfect size. ULA used to make one called the Atlas, which was basically a gigantic Dragonfly. So this one's a little bit smaller. I think the Atlas was pushing like 40 liters, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. But this 36-liter sweet spot is perfect for a one-bag travel. It's not personal item size like the 30-liter, so it's gonna definitely be, carry-on compliant still, but it's just a great bag. Like I said, with all the resistance to weather with the aqua guards and the ultra material, and the price being at $329 for the ultra version, it's just a home run. So what do you think of the 36-liter Dragonfly? Do you like this bag? Have you been checking it out? Do you own an older version and thinking about upgrading to the new larger version? Let me know what you think down in the comments. And if you like this video and you want to see more, consider clicking this video right here or this video right here. And if you really want to support the channel, consider clicking that button right there and subscribe to the channel. But most importantly, get in the comments and please just let me know how you get out there and use your gear.